Hello once again. Welcome to Teacher Joy's Corner. This segment is Grammar Tidbits 1.2, and I'm glad that you are here. Okay, so when you make a request, it is very important to be polite, right? And a common way to make the speech more polite is to add please at the beginning of the sentence or at the end. Don't you know that modal auxiliary verbs can do the emotion too? Yes. So now we'll focus on making a request and asking favor more polite. Okay. Now, asking permission and making a request. What is the difference between the two? When you ask permission, you do it by yourself. But when you make a request, you ask someone to do something for you, right? Okay, now, don't you know that two common ways to make polite requests? When you ask permission, you can use modal auxiliary verbs may, could, and can plus I plus the simple form of the verb. For example, may I borrow your book? Could I use your computer? Can I see your list? Okay, you could say that. Now, when you ask a favor or you let someone do something for you, you could use would, could, can plus you plus the simple form of the verb. For example, would you lend me a hand? Could you show me that paper? Can you call the doctor? Yes, you could use that. Then other ways of making a very polite or request or favor is the structure do you mind or would you mind? Okay. Now when you request a favor with do you mind and would you mind, you add if plus the present participle of the verb. For example, would you mind moving? I can't see. Would you mind closing the window? Would you mind holding my dog? Do you mind if I smoke? Yes, you could use this particular structure. Okay, now, other ways of asking permission. When you ask permission with do you mind and would you mind, you add if plus past form of the verb. Okay, when you ask permission, for example, do you mind if I open the window? Would you mind if I sat down? Okay, always remember you use the structure do you mind or would you mind plus if, then add the past form of the verb because this is grammatically correct. Okay, now there are things to keep in mind about this polite request. Now, when you use would you mind and the answer is yes, it means it's not okay. Please don't do anything, right? But if the answer is no, means no problem. You can go ahead or you can do something. Okay, example. Would you mind if I sat down? If the answer is no, it means that go ahead. It's okay. You can sit down. But if the question is, would you mind if I open the window? And then the response is yes, means please don't open it. Because if he or she does mind, meaning she doesn't agree with you. She doesn't agree with your request. Okay? So do you understand? Okay. Now, knowledge check. Make the following sentence more polite by adding modals. For example, number one, pass the sauce. Talk more quietly. Give me another drink. So what you're going to do here is you use the modal auxiliary verbs to make more polite request. Okay. Okay, now I give you enough time, so these are the possible answers. Pass the sauce, you could say, could you pass the sauce? Then about number two, talk more quietly. If you ask someone to talk a little bit quietly or to turn down their voice, you could say, do you mind if I ask you to talk more quietly? Do you mind if I ask you to turn down the volume of your voice or to turn down the volume of a radio or television? Could you talk more quietly? So give me another drink. Could you give me another drink? Okay, instead of saying, could you please give me another drink? You could say, could you give me another drink without using the common word please, right? Okay, so I hope that you learned something from me today about making a request and asking a permission. So once again, this is Teacher Joyce and thank you for watching my video. If you like my video, please click and subscribe and share my videos. Once again, always remember, anybody can be great if you have the will and determination. Bye. Thank you and God bless.